Okay, let's get into something pretty fundamental happening in Thailand right now,
It's a shift, yeah.
but bigger than just the usual digital stuff we talk about.
Absolutely. This deep dive, it's really all about this huge change in the Thai business world, specifically the growing importance of ESG, environmental, social, and governance values.
Right, ESG.
Yeah, and we're seeing these values seriously influencing how consumers behave, and maybe more importantly for our listeners, how marketing strategies
Yeah.
are having to adapt across Thailand.
And we're basing this conversation on a specific report, right? One that's focused squarely on sustainable marketing in Thailand, the ESG shift, and kind of looking ahead to 2025 trends.
Exactly. And our goal today really is to unpack all of this. We want to figure out why this is happening now, see how businesses and consumers are actually responding.
And what it really means if you're a brand working in Thailand or maybe even just considering it.
Yeah, what are the practical implications? So we'll be pulling out the most important insights, the key takeaways, maybe even a few surprises from the material.
Okay, let's start with the why. What's driving this big ESG push? Is it just government rules?
Well, that's part of it. The source definitely mentions regulations, things like the Climate Change Act gaining ground, and even international pressures like the EU's CBAM.
Ah, the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism.
Right, that's impacting trade.
Yeah.
But the report is actually really clear on this. The main driver, the real momentum, it's coming from Thai consumers themselves.
Okay, that's interesting. Not just top-down pressure then.
No, much more bottom-up. And there's a really striking statistic in here from Research.
Thailand's big research house here.
Exactly. They found that over 90%, let me repeat that, over 90% of Thai consumers say they are directly affected by environmental issues.
Wow, 90%. That's huge. What kind of issues are we talking about?
Think day-to-day stuff, like rising energy bills hitting their wallets, and that really persistent problem with PM 2.5 air pollution, especially in the cities.
Okay, so when you've got things like unstable food prices, high energy costs, bad air quality affecting pretty much everyone.
Yeah, over 90%. Then sustainability stops being, just a nice thing to do or some niche interest.
It becomes essential.
Exactly. The source literally calls it a market necessity. It's just not optional for businesses anymore if they want to stay relevant.
That direct impact, feeling it personally, it completely explains the shift in buying habits then, right? Consumers aren't just vaguely aware, they're becoming actively eco-conscious because it's, affecting their lives.
Precisely. The research data really backs this up. Consumer awareness is directly linked to being personally hit by these environmental factors. And that's translating into a real preference for low-carbon goods, sustainable products.
And looking ahead, research actually ranks sustainability in the top 3 consumer trends for 2025.
Yeah, right up there with smart spending, which makes sense given the cost pressures and self-healing, focusing on well-being. Sustainability is absolutely mainstream now in how Thai consumers think.
So consumers are demanding more. What does that look like?
Well, the source points out, especially in urban areas, people expect more than just good quality products now. They're asking for ethics, environmental responsibility built right into the brand.
And is this across the board or specific groups?
You definitely see it strongly with younger generations.
Mm-hmm.
The report mentions surveys showing Gen Z and millennials are actually willing to pay a bit more for stuff that aligns with their values.
Things like?
Ethical sourcing, sustainable packaging, clean supply chains. They're looking for brands that can prove it.
And social media is playing a role here, too.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
The source highlights how social media and influencers are really amplifying these trends. They're educating consumers and shaping choices pretty significantly.
Okay, so consumers are pushing hard. How are Thai businesses actually, stepping up? What are they doing differently?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And the source suggests that just like putting out an annual CSR report isn't enough anymore.
Right, ticking the box.
Exactly. Businesses in Thailand are starting to properly integrate ESG into their digital marketing. It's becoming part of campaign design, customer engagement, the whole lot.
And MarTech marketing technology seems to be the enabler here, making it actually possible.
Yeah, it's proving pretty critical. It's not just for targeted ads anymore. Companies are using platforms like Line OA, which is massive for business communication in Thailand.
Everyone uses Line there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Chaka CRM, other automation tools, they're using them for specific ESG actions.
Like what, specifically?
Things like launching targeted sustainability campaigns, sharing real-time data maybe on emissions or carbon offsets, or even setting up reward programs for customers who do eco-friendly things.
And how do they track and show this data?
That's where analytics platforms come in. The source mentions Mandala Analytics and Looker Studio being used to sort of visualize ESG progress.
Okay, so creating dashboards and reports.
Yeah, both for internal tracking and, crucially, for showing customers the results, proving their commitment.
So the big shift is away from just saying nice things.
Towards showing real, measurable results. And tech is making that possible.
Which leads us right into a potential minefield, the source flags. Greenwashing.
Ah, yes.
Big issue. With everyone jumping on the sustainability bandwagon, how do consumers know who's genuine? There must be a lot of skepticism.
Exactly. Greenwashing, making misleading or exaggerated claims about how green you are, it's a huge risk. Consumers are getting savvier, the source says, and they can often sniff out when it's just marketing fluff.
So what's the antidote? How do brands build real trust?
They have to show, not just tell. Demonstrate the green credentials, don't just market them.
And how do they do that? What are the concrete strategies mentioned?
Well, things like getting third-party certifications are key. The report mentions the Thai Green label, for example, or organic, cruelty-free labels people recognize.
Makes sense. What else?
Transparency reports, actually publishing data on your carbon footprint, or maybe details from supply chain audits, or even just stats on recycled content in your packaging.
Being open about the numbers.
Yeah. And also using content marketing to tell the full story. The whole ESG journey, including the bumps in the road, the challenges, not just the successes. That makes it feel more real.
Right. Nobody's perfect overnight. That honesty builds trust.
Totally. Consumers can spot fakes. Being genuinely authentic, according to the source, isn't just good ethics. It's actually becoming a powerful way for brands to stand out, a real differentiator.
Okay, so beyond the marketing messages and the data, where else is sustainability becoming visible, like in the actual operations?
The source highlights three main areas consumers often see: packaging, supply chains, and then circling back to communication, storytelling, and marketing ethics.
Packaging seems like an obvious one.
Yeah, and consumers are responding really positively. Things like biodegradable materials, recycled content, or even just minimalist packaging, less is more.
Is it making a difference competitively?
The report says yes, especially in sectors like food and cosmetics. Having eco-friendly packaging is already giving brands an edge there.
And supply chains, that feels more behind the scenes.
It is, but it's changing fast. There's a big push towards adopting green energy, which fits with Thailand's national goals too. And research actually predicts that companies really focusing on carbon reduction and circular supply models.
Using waste, keeping materials in use.
Exactly. Those companies are tipped to be among the fastest growing sectors by 2025. So there's a clear financial upside linked to greening the supply chain.
And the third area, marketing ethics.
This ties back to the storytelling. It's about sharing how you support communities, ensure fair labor practices, maybe have donation models tied to sales. And again, MarTech helps brands be transparent about this across all their digital channels.
So it's not just about making the product sustainable.
No, the report really emphasizes that the brands winning long-term loyalty are the ones weaving ESG into every stage of marketing. From understanding what consumers value right through to the final campaign, it has to be integrated.
And this isn't just theory, right? The source gives actual examples of Thai brands doing this.
Yes, absolutely. There's some great case studies showing this isn't just about looking good, it's driving real business results, profit, and purpose.
Like who? Give us an example.
Okay, so there's Betagrow, the big agri-food company. They've apparently integrated real-time ESG reporting right into their marketing, using dashboards, CRM systems to actually share carbon metrics with their customers.
Wow, that's direct transparency.
Isn't it? Then there's Srikin Cosmetics. They did a clever return and recycle program using Line OA.
How did that work?
They basically gamified it,
Yeah.
offered loyalty rewards to customers for sending back empty packaging, made sustainability kind of fun and interactive.
Smart. Are these just massive companies?
No, that's another key point.
Yeah.
The source also highlights Thai SMEs, smaller and medium businesses, especially in health and wellness. They're actively promoting their sustainability efforts too.
Why are they doing it?
Partly, yeah. It's driven by rising costs, making efficiency important. But crucially, it's also because they see those changing consumer expectations we discussed, and they're responding directly.
So these examples really show it's possible for different sized companies. Local brands, mid-sized ones, they can actually gain an edge this way.
Definitely. It shows ESG isn't just for the corporate giants. It can be a powerful tool for connection and competitive advantage for many Thai businesses.
Okay, let's pull this all together then. What are the big implications here, especially for, say, a foreign brand looking at Thailand?
Well, the main takeaway is this ESG focus in Thailand. It's not just a passing fad. This report really frames it as a deep, fundamental shift. It's baked into the national outlook now, and critically, into the way Thai consumers think and buy.
Consumers hold the power here, it seems.
They really do. They're more informed, they care about these issues because they feel them directly, and they are actively choosing brands that align with ESG values.
So for marketers, that means pressure, but also opportunity.
Exactly. Pressure to adapt, yes. You can't ignore this, but also a huge opportunity to build much deeper trust and loyalty if you get it right.
And the winning formula, according to the source.
Embrace the tech, the MarTech, for real transparency. Automate ESG communication where it makes sense. And really importantly, localize your storytelling. Show you understand the specific Thai context and concerns. That builds trust.
So looking forward, as Thailand aims to lead in sustainable growth in the region,
ESG isn't just going to tweak preferences. This analysis suggests it's fundamentally reshaping what it even means to be a successful, relevant brand in the Thai market. It's becoming table stakes.
wow. Okay, let's do a quick recap of the core insights from this source.
Sure. So first, ESG in Thailand is now a market necessity, driven hard by consumers directly feeling environmental impacts like pollution and energy costs.
Right, over 90% feeling it.
Exactly. Second, Thai consumers, especially younger ones, are increasingly eco-conscious, demanding ethics, and even willing to pay more for brands that prove their commitment.
Third, brands are moving beyond basic CSR and integrating ESG deep into their digital marketing, using MarTech for things like targeted campaigns and sharing real data.
Fourth, authenticity is absolutely key to fight greenwashing. Brands need to show proof certifications, transparency reports, honest storytelling, not just make vague claims.
Fifth, this shift is visible in operations think sustainable packaging, greener supply chains predicted to drive growth.
And sixth, successful brands integrate ESG across all marketing stages, and we see Thai companies, big and small, like Bitagro, Shrichand, and various SMEs, already doing this effectively to gain loyalty and advantage.
So understanding this whole picture is just crucial for anyone involved in the Thai market, or really anyone watching how sustainability is changing marketing globally.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final thought to leave you with, drawn from this material. Think about the actual experience of being a consumer.
Okay.
In Thailand now, based on this source, that experience increasingly includes thinking about the ethical footprint, the environmental impact of what you buy. It's not separate anymore. It's becoming part of the core value people expect.
So brands need to get that, that it's fundamental now.
Exactly. They need to reflect that deep understanding, not just in one green campaign, but in their entire approach, their entire presence in the market. That seems to be the core message here.